Hello, 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 everyone. Happy to see you. We had some technical issues, but now we are live. We are on the computers. Hey, Stanis. Uh,
Hey, how are you doing?
how amazing. Hope the same for you. We tried to make it in Instagram, but it didn't work, so we just changed the plans, and right now we are here. Uh, what we will talk today? Building a successful e-commerce brand from the scratch. I know you have some experience. I have some experience. I think we can put everything like step by step, how to get there.
Definitely, for sure.
I have seen this number 17 million. So let's explain to the people why they need to listen to us, why we can share with experience. Add some why they need to listen to us.
Well, basically talking about my personal experience, my first ever e-commerce shop, first ever. It was before even I came in Dubai. It was back in 2014. It was November, end of the year. I was still living in Belarus at that time. It was my final year in university, and basically I was looking for the ways, to make some money. When you're a student, it's never enough. For you, it's never enough. Whatever you're getting, you're doing some side hustles, getting some few $100s extra as a payment, but it's never enough. So for me, I was looking for more opportunities, and basically the easiest option for the young guy, like 22-year-old guy, to make some money, it's going to be, selling something online, because eventually online sales are growing. They're growing from year to year. And then back in the days, there was, it is still there, a platform in Belarus, Russia, in all speaking countries, a platform called ВКонтакте. And that was the place where I first started selling, I think buying some stuff from China. I had few suppliers from Alibaba. I got from them different styles of products such as teeth whiteners, these pens to remove scratches from the cars. If you know, that kind of stuff used to be very popular. It's absolute garbage. It's not working. But I was thinking this is the one. This is the one which people need it. Something which will crush. I had electric hookahs. It's similar to vapes, but it used to be like more fancy. It used to be a very huge one, very fancy, and the look was great. But back at that time, my knowledge was different to what it is right now. So obviously, whatever I bought, I lost everything. Didn't work for me well. I tried to build my own shop with WordPress. I hired a friend of mine. He paid him $200. He made me a nice looking landing page. Been doing this for many years. Being honest with you, and thinking about my past experiences, it was a bold move for me to start doing this back at the days, because thinking about knowledge which I used to have like 9 years ago to what I have right now, it is insane. Because right now, whenever I'm doing any kind of moves, I will analyze everything. I will analyze potential losses. I will analyze every single product I want to test. Back in the days when I was buying my first products, I was like, oof, like it looks very nice. I think I'm going to sell it. So I'm buying the minimum bulk inventory, like 100 pieces. They're shipping from China to Moscow. From Moscow, we need to pick up on the car to drive it back in Belarus, and then you're trying to resell it. It was a very stupid idea, but when you're young, you're willing to take risks. You're not thinking much. Because my grandmother, she gave me at that time money. She gave me $2,000. She knew I want to start something because they find out I want to take a loan from the bank, and they were like, "I better give you my own money to try all this stuff." So I tried it. Obviously, failed, lost everything quite fast. Half of this money lost on the inventory, half of them lost on advertising. Back in the days, I never heard about Facebook ads. There was no TikTok ads, such a things. I even didn't use any kind of influencers. For me, the only things I've been using was how to say it on English. It was context advertising in Yandex, in that kind of Russian-based browsers. And even these things I didn't know how to use. I was hiring the guy who was paying $200 a month, and he was setting up for me all this advertisement. So basically, everything for me was done. The shop was done. The products I picked like in a matter of like 10 minutes. I've just seen it somewhere, I took it. So I didn't do much job. I didn't do much research. Obviously, that's why I failed with these things. And talking about my current position where I am right now, obviously I'm not doing things like this anymore. It takes hours and hours of research. Even if I will decide to sell something, I will not just blindly jump on it. I will do my proper research. I will analyze few spy tools. I will go for the Minea. I will check all the metrics there. I will analyze all my competitors. I will analyze Facebook ads library. So basically, I will do all I can to collect as much data as I can before moving to the product. because previously my main mistakes was just trying to sell something that I personally like. There was no any proper research. So that was one of the reasons I failed, and I believe why people should jump on the e-commerce and they should listen to someone like you and me is because both of us we have a great experience in this. I failed many shops before the one which finally made me some decent money, because I used to sell things. I used to sell dresses for ladies. Back in 2019, I had a female dresses shop, Hey Sandra.ae. It was basically a prototype of the shop which called Beach City Aya. It's quite famous right now in Dubai. They're doing quite well right now. As far as I know, the owner of this shop is a lady from either UK or Australia, and when I seen how they were performing back in the days, I was so sure that with my knowledge, I'm going to outperform them. I'm going to be the biggest female on dresses shop in Dubai. I was so confident in these things. Turns out nothing. I lost all I had at that time. I lost all my savings. I went and debted my credit card. Turns out I have to sell my car, which at the time I was super proud of. I worked super hard to get it. Had to sell the car to pay off all the debts. It was nice stories, So thinking about all my past experiences, I had so many failures in e-commerce with all the previous products, shops, projects, So eventually, yes, I finally found which works personally for me. Because eventually, I believe there is things which works for you. There is things which works for others. There is different methods even in terms of advertising. Some people prefer to work only with the TikTok ads. Sometimes some people prefer to work with Facebook ads. There is many different options, and it is important to find something which works for you personally, something what you like to work with. Because for me, being honest, I'm not a big fan, let's say, of TikTok advertising, because it's inconsistent. It requires a lot of your time. It requires a lot of video testing. I prefer to operate more with the Facebook ads. I prefer to, back in the days, back in 2020, 2021, and mid of 2022, I used to play with the Facebook ads in a very aggressive way. I like to spend very high budgets. I used to post a lot about this in my social media as well, on my Instagram. I was bragging with this, sending all the videos, how much I'm spending. It was not the best idea. It was not the best ideas. Now I adjusted everything, because if you're talking about Facebook ads, as more money you will spend on the particular product and in a very short period of time, as more likely you will end up in the situation when your payment processor will put your money on hold. I've been in this situation many times with a PayPal, with a Stripe, and eventually I have to adjust my strategies. I have to adjust my strategies for my students as well, because we don't do any more things like we don't jump from spending $500 a day to $7,000 a day in a matter of 1 week. We don't do this anymore, because you're always ending up in the same situation. You're scaling fast. The moment Stripe sees this, your account is on hold. You have a lot of issues. So I had massive experiences with all this stuff, and eventually, yes, after 8.5 years, have so many experience, so many fails, so many great results. So I believe, I'll be able to share my personal strategies, which works for me, which works for people who works with me. So I believe it's going to be quite useful for people.
Okay, great. You told the story like really. That's amazing. We both together have almost 18-year experience, and that's we can legally drink alcohol in wise of.
We're pioneers of this.
So we know what's happening here. So the same for me. I have built the brand to 7 figures, then failed with several brands because I was thinking I can sell anything and scale anything. And after that, it's again, I'm back on this trip. That's how we met with the Stanis. I want to launch again the brands that I understand that what you told, like jumping in every first idea and just launching. This is not the place I want to do right now. This is, I want to understand this proper analytics. And I think from this your journey, like lost everything, fail, proper analytics, fail, find your real product, which is the place you think is the most useful for the listeners to get in and maybe to dig deeper and understand those things, because the tactics, everything, this is when the product is found. But I think we need to talk about this moment, how you get to this product, which you can start to grow all your tactic side too.
I see. Well, from a personal experience, as I told you, I tried many different niches, many different products, and what I find out which works well for me is to try to stick to the products which somehow resonates with your interests and your personality. By the same reason, it didn't work for me selling this electric vapes, similar to hookah. It didn't work with me because back at the times I used to be in competing bodybuilding and men's physique. I was a super huge guy, and I'm trying to sell things which are smoking, which is technically killing your health, So it didn't resonate with me. Obviously, I failed with this product. I've been trying to sell things which didn't really, which I would personally never use in my life, Same goes with these dresses for ladies. I was trying to sell female products, and it's weird for men who has zero interest or experience in female fashion. When he's trying to sell the dresses, it was a very not the smartest idea, I would say, in a polite way, not the smartest idea, because when I was choosing to sell that kind of things, what I was thinking about is when ladies are buying, they're buying emotionally. They're not thinking in a logical way. When you and me will go to buy the t-shirt or jeans, we will buy only jeans or a t-shirt. We won't be buying more. It's very rarely. But when the lady go in and check in, for example, Zara, or she just want to have a look. She just want to have a look. She will always end up with buying 3, 4, 5 items, And that's what I was thinking I can also do. I can sell them emotionally, but didn't work because you cannot think the way lady think. It's very hard for men. It's very hard. And eventually, the key point for new beginners will be to find something which will work great for you personally. Because for me, my biggest product, the most, let's say, the one which basically made me my first real money was the fitness products. Because I had a big fitness past and experience, and I knew what will work for the audience, and I knew what I will personally buy. So I launched this product. It was quite strong. Basically, in a matter of 3.5, 4 months, it was already sitting on $100,000 a month in total sales. With a net profit approximately, generally speaking, net profit when you're doing dropshipping, depends on the product and everything. It will vary from 17% to 25%. There is occasions when you can go for the higher net profit, like 30% and more. But most of the time, it's related for the shops which already exist on the market for 1+ years. Shops which has already properly optimized upsells, post-purchase upsells, a lot of different bundles. And when the shop looks always like a proper brand, you have the name and you're in the position to charge people more. When every single item you have, it has a logo on it, your packaging is properly customized. This is the point when you can charge people more, and when your net profit can jump from 20% to 30%. But usually it takes around like 8 to 12 months to build it. So talking about the product, yes, the first things you have to look for something which will be interested for you to sell. Because for me, as I told you, fitness. Second niche I like to operate is home decor, home improvement, all the things related for home. I had the experience trying to sell things for babies, things for pets. Pets niche is a great niche because it's an emotional niche. Most of the time, whenever you're targeting a pet owner in USA or Canada, it is very easy to sell to them, especially to the dog lovers. These people are spending a lot. You can easily sell them $70, $80 beds, and they're going to be fine buying them, Also, second best niche to operate will be things for kids, for toddlers and all this stuff, because thinking about the mentality of the mother, she will spend the last money on the baby, but she would rather save some money on herself, So things for kids are very successful niche, but you have to be very careful because whenever you're selling things for toddlers, it is very important. We've been speaking with you about this before, that it is very important to make sure that quality control is on point. Because whenever you're selling for the toddlers, if there will be any quality issues and you didn't check this before, you can end up in the troubles, especially if the quality control was bad, especially when not just one item was damaged, but constantly the whole entire order, whatever is getting shipped to the customers, it has a very poor quality. Then you can end up in getting sued, especially if you're a legit business, you have a license, your name is everywhere. Unless your business is registered in Wyoming, where your name is protected, your privacy is protected under the LLC, you can get sued and you can be in very big troubles, So talking about numbers, yes, the best niches for me was fitness and home improvement. Great niches also to start with will be things for babies, for toddlers, mainly because it's very easy to sell. Pets stuff as well, mainly for dogs because things for cat lovers, they tend to have lower margins from my personal experience. Yeah. You're going to be fighting for $18, $20 net profit per item, which is not much. And I believe that's it. I prefer to never touch anything related to fashion. Fashion is the kind of niche which requires a lot of budget, a lot of experience. And we're not talking only about female fashion, we're talking about male, female, even kids fashion. This is the kind of niches I would rather stay away if I'm a beginner, because it requires a lot of time to build the shop, to build a massive products inventory. It requires a lot of time from you. So if I would be starting now, I would definitely stay away from clothes, from fashion, from even maybe from sneakers at one point, because sneakers also it's one of the niches which is quite hard to operate. But if something too easy to start, pets, kids is a great place to go, but you have to watch out for the quality control. You have to always ask for the samples up front from the supplier. Fitness as well. Fitness is my favorite. Fitness is what I'm doing on a regular basis, and things which are just working well for me personally.
Yeah, that's amazing what you're telling, because when people are thinking about a product, they are just thinking about the product. But the idea, what you need to think is the niche in which this product will be, because it's not just a product. If you are building the proper brand, it will not stay with one product. There will be the additional products. So always think on the niche side and the product side. So the niche is made from the interest you have, because that's the easiest part. And then I think is there one more suggestion. What I wasn't doing when I was first time doing something in e-commerce, I wasn't buying the product and testing the product. What you told about the kits, yeah. If you don't have a kit, or you haven't tested like 10 same products in the same niche, I would not suggest you to go in some kind of the niche where you are not, where you don't have any idea what's happening there. So this buying thing, when you buy stuff and you try to understand why this stuff is better than other stuff, and you are just starting to buy this product, you start more believing in the e-commerce as itself, because when you are sitting at home without money, trying to find your product, your niche, it's really hard for you to get this feeling that somebody is really buying. And I think this is the huge thing too. What I have added in my last years, that I'm buying a lot in online, so I have this feeling, I have this understanding. What is a good customer journey? What should be shown where? Why I'm choosing this? Why I don't like that? And I'm trying to understand this journey. So this is the huge stuff. Um, you found your product, so it took you, I think, something like 6 or 7 years to get to this first product, which you really loved. You really was going after that. Tell us more about how is your life looking when you are selling the product, which is scaling, you're making a money, you are in the niche where you want. Share us this, dream, yeah, where we can be in the future.
Just want to add before I talk about this, I want to add that it's a great idea to think about niche, because eventually every product you're selling, it's dying out. Eventually, like 1 year will pass or 1.5, the product will be already saturated. So it's important for you to replace this product with something similar to this from the same niche, so you can keep the shop running, because you already have the brand. You have already thousands of emails in your shop. So it is essential, yes, to stick not to the only one product, but to the niche itself. So you can later on add more stuff, so you can sell more to the people. It's very important.
Yeah, that's not just a single product stuff. This is not the e-commerce today. It's e-commerce like maybe 5 years ago, 7 years. But today you always think, okay, we had this conversation. I can share this conversation. So I was telling to the Stanis, hey, this is my amazing product I want to sell. And Stanis is telling, there's one problem. The price is $250. I was like, yeah, but that's okay. And then he was saying, no, you need to build a smaller product. So what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to find a smaller product, because I know that I will get the client who is buying the product for kids or for pets, whatever it is. And after that, I can sell them more expensive. So don't think just about one product. Think about the niche and what else you can add there. It shouldn't be added with the first launch, but you need to have this idea that you will add it there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and talking about your life changes, first weeks when money started basically coming to my Payoneer account and everything to my PayPal account, you cannot really enjoy all these things, because back in the days, especially like first 6 to 8 months when everything started working well for me, I had a big trust issues with people. I was afraid to hire someone, because basically it's your business, and whenever you're thinking, who should I hire to fulfill my orders? Who should I hire to reply on my customer service, to replace my customer service, to reply on all the emails. You have to trust issues. You're afraid that person will not be doing this the same way as you do. Because eventually if someone will ask me to get them refund because they're waiting for 2 weeks, I know how to reply them, to comfort them, to avoid refund. When your basically customer service was getting paid like $4 or $5 per hour, they can be like, okay, no problem, and just issue the refund. So for me, it was a big issue, and majority of my time I was spending on all this work. I was fulfilling the orders myself. I was replying on all these messages on Instagram, Facebook page. I was replying all the emails, and it was taking approximately like around 4 or 5 hours a day. All this job, it was not the best decision for me to keep it so long time, because eventually, if I would outsource it way earlier, I would enjoy life much more. Because eventually, when you're doing this routine work every single day for 4 or 5 hours, excluding the time when you need to analyze your Facebook ads and to do further product research, to keep uploading more products, to keep testing them, you feel burned. So for me, first weeks, when I've seen these great numbers on my PayPal account, on my Payoneer, it's all coming, you want to spend it, but there is no time for you to spend it, you have no desire to spend, I remember eventually I was having like around $65,000 in my PayPal account, and I was going so crazy. The amount is so huge. You can go just buy the new car for yourself, because back in the days when I told you I sold the car from the debt I had from the dresses shop, I didn't drive anything great. I had a very cheap car. The only car I could afford, it was like $6,000, and I really want to get something like proper, something I used to drive before from my past, but you simply don't have desire to go and spend it because you're so consumed by the work. So for me, I didn't really feel much the change of the life until I started hiring the people in the team. Until I started bringing more people in the team to support me with my customer service, to support me with analyzing my Facebook ads, to help me do the product research and all this stuff. After this, it felt already way better. But eventually, till the point when I could already enjoy finally this freedom of having enough money not to look at the bill in the restaurant, or whenever you're going somewhere, you don't need to look at the price. At the point when I reached this level, it was already like desire to spend this money. It was quite gone already. So for me, I couldn't actually catch this moment when this life-changing part just happened, because the work was consuming me constantly on a regular basis, consuming, and you just don't have much time to enjoy. Because for me, last time, back in the days, 2020, 2021, and 2022, I didn't travel anywhere. It was always work. And by the times when I was already more kind of automated with my shops, everything was smooth. I had more free time. What I decided to do, I decided to create my Instagram account and start talking about all these things, So I find something new to replace my routine, to keep me busy, with all this work. So it's a bit hard to say how the life changed. I think the main change happened is just you don't look at the prices when you're buying something. You don't need to worry about any financial issues, because everything is fine. The only times when I used to have a big stress from financial situations is when PayPal put my money on hold, and when the Stripe is putting it on hold. I've been in these situations a few times. It happens out of nowhere. Everything is fine. You have great shipping times. Everything is perfect, and then you receive notification from PayPal. Your money is on hold with absolutely no reason. It happened with me many times. And usually, whenever they're telling you, just wait 3 days. We'll verify all your documents. You're good to go. But it's never 3 days. Whoever is doing the commerce, they know how PayPal are. These 3 days can be 3 weeks. It can be 3 months. And for me, my first ever real big halt happened back in 2020. It was end of March. Back at the times, it was I still didn't make like some insane numbers. It was great numbers, but nothing crazy. I would not. It's not nothing like what you can talk about to everyone. It was great, but still not life-changing numbers. And it was around like $16,000-$17,000 on the PayPal account. It's all I have. Because most of the time, approximately 58% of the transactions, most of the time, are coming from PayPal. Always like this, because European people, they prefer to buy with a PayPal because it's more secure for them. While on the other side, from the USA, Canada, they prefer to spend credit cards and debit cards. And for me, most of the time, biggest part of transactions was coming to the PayPal. And from this account, I was covering all my advertising costs, all my supplier costs, and then boom, all this money is gone. Lucky for me at that time, I had this credit card. It was like 35,500 dirhams, which is like almost $10,000, like $9,700. So I was so sure that these 3 days will pass, everything is fine. I don't need to worry. I trusted PayPal. I submit all documents, everything is legit, no any issues. And these 3 days I was basically spending from my credit card. 3 days passed, nothing. I keep spending on the ads. I keep paying to the supplier. 5 days passed. I'm sending already emails, no response, as always. And this was the moment when I started already freaking out, because at the end of the day, your credit card has only 25 days to pay everything you spend. And if you won't pay the amount, and I basically drained the entire credit card. I was at one point, I was at the level when I had zero on the credit card, zero on the debit card, and all the money on my PayPal is on hold. Luckily for me at the time, my girlfriend, or already ex-girlfriend, she kind of supported me. You know, she was giving me some finances to basically support me, to support a mature man, because all his money is frozen. You know, this was one of the moments, you know, when I really freaked out, when I was kind of very, very, very stressful. I was not myself, because whenever your finances is not right, especially when it's not your fault, there's nothing you can do. PayPal just froze them, you know. This is the moment when you're really freaking out in life, because for many it is important to be financially, at least financially stable. I'm not talking about being rich, but financially stable, you know, being in the position to pay for your food, to pay for your rent and all this stuff. And when all your money is on hold, that's kind of scary. At that times, it took them, I think, 24 days until they released my money. Not 3, as they promised, it was 24. Obviously, I already stopped all my ads. I stopped everything. By the time they released all my money, I had to restart my ads, and the ROAS was not the same anymore. So it's always the same. Whenever you're launching Facebook ads, if you pause your advertising and then you restart it, your ROAS will be lower. It will take time to optimize it and all this stuff. For me, that particular shop died out already. I couldn't run it anymore, because back at the days, this product was already all over the spy tools. So I simply cannot run it anymore. It was just too competitive. Whenever I was launching the ad, CPM was way higher than it used to be before. So it didn't work out for me. So after that experience, I took a pause, I think approximately till July. So basically from March, April till July, I didn't run anything. There I had no any shops. I just got all this money back. I was sitting with them, feeling quite comfortable, you know, slightly spending them, but not much. And only after this, basically this injury inside me healed, I started again. Because it took me some time to start over, because it was the first experience of that kind of behavior from PayPal. I read a lot about this on the internet, but until you experience it yourself, you will never understand how it is when they're taking from you everything away for absolutely no reason. And basically, according to their policies, they have all the rights to keep your money on hold for 6 months. You know, so there is not much you can do in such a situation. So
yeah, PayPal is crazy. They can hold the money. They can do whatever they want. They have 5% per this transfer fee. So like, but I think it's two things what we can learn from that, because I have been in the same situation. I had 15,000 frozen there, and then I stopped doing everything. So I have been in the same situation, but two things: to enjoy the growth, to enjoy everything what you are doing in life. Start learning to outsource things as fast as possible, because every e-commerce brand owner or whatever you are, entrepreneur, task is not to fill your day with the work. Your task is to find how to do that without your hands. So there's this saying, not how, but who. That's how you need to think about the stuff. But of course, in the start, you need to do whatever you like. You needed to get out to get this plane up, and then after that, you decide what you can give. But start to think from the first day. And I have a pretty great way how to do that. If you are doing some task management systems, then just use the regular Kanban and put out all your work what should be done in the Kanban. And when you will do that, you will see how much task you need to do. And you need to understand at that moment that there is no point to outwork somebody. There is point to understand how to give away most of those tasks, because you as a owner, you need to work only on the tasks which is making you money, not just like delivering products and etc. And about the money, that's something I'm telling to every brand owner when they are starting to scale. I am telling them, please start to search for possible money flows if there's something will happen. because
Yeah.
the thing what you told, that's not like something once happened with a Stanis or once happened with a meat. That's the regular stuff what's happening. And in the moment when you are running like 5, 10, 20,000 a day in ads, and you need to pay some additional bills or whatever, so you can make a huge money, this cash flow problem in really short term. And please start to think from the first day when I will start to fly and everything will be good, where I will get the money. Because when your plane is flying and everything goes up, it will be really easy for you to get money. When this plane is going slowly down, it will be really hard for you to get additional money. So just think about those two things, because Stanis perfectly put it out. I have the same story in my side, but I will not tell it again. But that's amazing stuff.
I
Yeah.
believe many entrepreneurs eventually who was crossing the point of at least 100K a month in total sales, they've been facing these issues. It is inevitable. And as you said, when you're flying, you feel great, you feel nothing can happen to you. But once this actually happens, you're emotionally, from here to here, you're going very fast, till the point when you feel depressed because nothing you can do. Because eventually, in the e-commerce, you can see that your Facebook is bringing your money. You are profitable, everything is great, but you're forced to stop it because you don't have any more cash flow. It is one of the biggest issues.
We have this problem right now with one e-commerce owner in Dubai. We have one client where we get to 2,000 a day in 1.5 weeks, and he wasn't ready to spend so much on ads, but ads is doing like a lot of money. They're like, we are putting the ad spend like $200, but ads are spending $400 because they are making money. They are not like, they can't spend that stuff. And they have a problem because their money is going somewhere to US, and when it's coming back, and they have this issue. And this is something you just need to understand. If that plane will go up, you should hold that up as long as possible, because this fall down, as you told, you need several 4 months you need to get back, because this state where you get when you are down, it's like a deep hole. You can lose yourself really fast.
Definitely.
While we were talking with you, we are referring to some conversation which we had, because you are doing some e-commerce mentorship, and I just want to understand from your perspective why you have started to do the mentorship. What's the reason behind that? Because there's always, the guys is telling, you can't make on e-commerce money, you can just make on the courses, on the coaches and stuff like that. And I just want to understand, is that for you as a money flow? Why you have decided to do the both ways, the e-commerce and the mentorship side?
For me, first of all, it was I was looking for the new challenge, because eventually, whatever you're doing in your life, eventually you're reaching the point when you start feeling slowly burned out. And for me, doing my own things was not anymore it's not anymore a challenge, I would say, than this way, because everything the same. To build the brand, it's all the same structure. You're picking up the product, you're analyzing the niches products, you're going through all the criterias. You're picking the product, you're building the shop, you're launching the advertising, you're getting the sample at your home, records all the pictures, videos, Facebook ads launch, testing phase, scaling phase, boom, it's done. Then you're doing the same things over and over and again. And eventually, when you're doing this for a very long period of time, it's burning out. It's not a challenge for you anymore. But what's a new challenge for you is to give someone else to the same point as you are, to bring someone new, someone who never heard about e-commerce before, who never even had any idea what is dropshipping, what is e-commerce in general, and you have to explain all these things. To bring this person to the point where he's actually making 3x of his monthly salary, this is more challenging, Obviously, it is money. Obviously, it is also money as well, because there is no point to give all your knowledge, to give your personal time for free. Obviously, it is bringing serious income. It's one of the streams of income which generates for me quite well, to be honest with you. But it is never something which is supposed to replace of what you're doing. Because eventually, if you're advocate of e-commerce, if this is what you've been doing, if this is what works well for you, I genuinely believe you should keep doing this. And you should keep this as a priority. Your business must be always your priority. And only after this, whenever you have more time, whenever you feel you're ready for the new challenge, you can start taking new people. For me, first time I started taking new people back in 2021. It was approximately September, October. This was the time I started taking the people, because at that time I already had confidence in my personal knowledge, in my personal results. I was thinking I'm ready, because for me, I'm the kind of person who was quite hard to share everything. Because back in the days I had two mentors as well, one from Russia and one from the USA. And I remember the mentor, the second mentor, the information he was given to the public in his social media, and what he gave me on the private calls. It was totally different story. It was totally different story, and I realized why he is at the place where he is right now. Because all the most important small things, no one is ever tell you on the YouTube or Instagram. They're never there. I can tell for sure. He told me all these things, how to fight all the issues with the PayPal, how to be ready for them. Because most of the times when you're dreaming about making money, in your mind the first thing is what you will do once you have your 50K. You go to buy a car. He was helping me with my mindset to stop thinking about these things, like don't think about cars, don't think about watches. He was pushing me about thinking about cash flow and all these things. I still didn't listen to him. And eventually, yes, I got played by PayPal. But it is important to get someone who is I would not say it's the biggest person on the market, because most of the time the real biggest people who is doing millions per month, they're not in the social media. They're not sharing their knowledge even with close friends. So it is important to find someone maximum trustworthy, someone ideally from the place where you're living as well, so you can meet up in person and you can simply see, what kind of knowledge you can get from this person. Because in e-commerce there is no one ideal path. You can operate your business in many different ways. If you will watch YouTube, 5 different e-commerce gurus, they'll be telling you 5 different strategies of how to test products, how to scale products. Some people prefer to use CBO on the testing phase. So one ABO, there's many different things. There's many different ways how to even search for the products. There is tons of different spy tools. I used to be a big advocate of doing raw research. I was just opening back in 2020, 2021 and half 2022. I was always doing raw research. I'm just opening catalogs on Alibaba and AliExpress. And through category, hour by hour, I'm just scrolling. Whatever I like visually, I will add in the Excel file. And then the next day, I'm going to analyze all this file to make sure that I can earn some money from this. The main criteria is to make sure that you can put at least $20, $25 of profit per item. This is the bare minimum, ideally even more. So I will analyze through iCatch appeal. I will analyze through a perspective of making money. I will check it if it's already on the market, if it's saturated or not. I will check all these things, and then I will be testing this product. The benefits of such a method is that in this situation, if you're finding something, you're one of the first to sell. It means you're going to have the highest ROAS, the highest return on investment. You will have the best performance of your ads. You will not have any issues with the Facebook. And basically, this product will last with you much longer when you're the first. You're able to scale this product to the moon. There is cases when you can easily operate $15,000 to $20,000 in total sales per day with the product, with one product only. The main minus of such a method is only 1 out of 10 will perform for you. So imagine you're launching 10 products and only 1 of them will be profitable for you. That's the minus of the raw research. And that's the kind of things which I stopped teaching my students, because eventually to test 10 products per week, you need to have budget. And ideally, talking about testing, I would be spending at least $120 per day on one product. And if it's 10 products, it's $1,200 a day, So not everyone in the position to afford to spend that much money on the testing phase only, not talking about even the scaling. So I had to adjust all these things, and eventually, yes, we come up to the idea that the best way is to use spy tools. You're not going to be able to find something unique, something what you're going to be the first. You won't be able to make millions with this particular product, but you'll be able to get a decent sales, and you don't need to spend fortune on the testing the products, because if you did a great research, you can pick only 3 products, make for them either niche store or one product store, and you can start launching ads, and I can guarantee you that one of them will be profitable, and 2 others, in the worst case scenario, will be on the break even. So you won't be losing much money, This is the kind of approach which I personally use for the past already like 8-10 months, which works for me and which works for other people as well. Because I would say the main issue with the beginners, how it used to be before back in 2015, 16, you can start e-commerce with $200 in the pockets and it will work. Facebook, you're given $5 per ad set, 3 ad sets, and you're pocketing 3-4 sales per ad set, with no any issues. It was super cheap. Right now, it's not the case anymore. You cannot do this anymore. It's going to be much more expensive. It's higher CPM, lower CTR. Competition is way higher. Everything is more expensive. Now, to get the customer, you really have to work. So in that case, in this situation, you need to spend more money. You need to spend bigger budget when you're starting. So unfortunately, e-commerce, the way it used to be like 7-8 years, and the way it is now, it's totally different stories. So whenever someone is with $200, I prefer to say like better invest something in yourself. Get maybe some courses online, upgrade yourself, because with this money to operate e-commerce will be very hard. Like you still have a chance to catch something nice and it will boom. You'll post organically some videos on TikTok and it will boom for you. But chances are very small. Miracles tend not to happen. It's best not to rely on the miracle or some fairy tale, and best to rely on your experiences.
Yeah, I totally agree. I made my first million with one ad. It's not possible today. You can't make so much on one ad. About the idea, yeah, I agree. This mentorship stuff. If you have knowledge in some niche or somewhere, opening the mentorship doors for yourself, starting to mentor people, it's amazing income stream. It doesn't mean you do just mentorship and you still do all your business what you are doing, but this mentorship, it's a great income stream, and you can really help and share, because this mentorship stuff, I think it should be more advertised, because this is the way how you can move forward. So you told this first story, fail, lost everything, fail, proper. So this was the wrong way how to start the stuff. Not the wrong way, but that was your way. So right now you are in this market and you want to try to help to do this simpler. So what is the exact step-by-step process today to launch your e-commerce brand from the scratch?
First of all, you need to analyze where you are at in your life. You need to see how much free time do you have, because you have to understand that e-commerce will be time consuming. You need to see what kind of job you have, what kind of shifts you're working, if it's 8-hour shifts or it's 12 shifts a day, if you're working, let's say, night shifts or whatever. You need to clearly analyze how much free time you have, because if you're starting something new, it means that you jump very deep inside for like 3, 4, 5 hours a day for the first 1 month, at least for the first month minimum, to fully understand what's gonna be, if it's gonna work for you or if it's not gonna work, if it's what you're looking for. Because being honest, e-commerce is not for everyone. I would say it's not for everyone. There is many people who is looking for the quick, fast, quick money. E-commerce is not about quick and fast. It's never about quick and fast. You have to put a lot of hard work into this, and you need to make sure that it's going to fit for you. So the first things, you're looking at yourself. You're looking how much free time do you have. You're looking at your budget, because also it's very important to understand where you are financially. I'm not talking about doing calculations how much you need for the mentorship services. You need to analyze how much you're willing to spend for the ads. You need to see if you're capable of building the website your own. And if you're not, how much you're willing to spend to get the website done by any web developer online. You need to do all the calculations, because generally speaking, if you're talking about hiring someone to build for your website, picking up all the products, using spy tools, because spy tools are also paid options. You cannot get all the best things for free. So you need to calculate how much you have and if you're willing to spend the money on these tools, So first things, you're analyzing how much free time you have, so how much money you have, and only after this, the things which goes as the step number 2 is analyzing the niches and the products which you want to sell. For me personally, I would go for the tools such as Minea or Pixta. I would just get the subscription there, and I'll start looking for the products there. Most of the time, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the products which are still fresh in the market, which people are not selling already for like 1+ years. Something which some shops which are selling things for like maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 months maximum. So I'm going to be looking for the products which are quite new on the market and doesn't have a high competition. Then I'm going to analyze the competition. I will analyze their Facebook ads library to see how many ads they have. I told you this before. We're looking for the amount of ads to analyze how much money they're making. Because you can find a great product, very great engagement on the videos, and you're thinking it's great, but then you go to the Facebook ads library and you see that there is only 4 active ads, which means that most likely this product is about to die out, and you will jump exactly at that point when it's too late for you, So I would be doing I would focus the majority of my time, maybe like first 10, 14 days, just doing the research. Using the spy tools, I would get 1, 2 spy tools to get a different perspectives on the products. I would get Minea and Pixta. They're going to be the best. Minea is a bit more pricey, but it gives you a lot of data. And Pixta is more affordable option, which is also very great. So I'm going to be checking all these spy tools. I will make an Excel file. I will try to find at least like 8 to 10 products, ideally from different niches, but something which has great numbers, which has great amount of active ads on the competitor's website. And then I will simply, once I add these 8 to 10 products, I will keep observing them like for 7 days just to see how their ads library behaving in the Facebook. I will see if they're adding more ads or they're descaling the product. There is less ads. So I will analyze where they are at, if they're launching more ads and etc. And once I'm seeing that yes, product has a very positive growth rate in the Facebook ads library, for me this is going to be the sign that it's time for me to jump on this product as well. So once I know exactly what I want to sell, I'm going to the Shopify. I'm gonna build the shop. Either I'm going to be using or Pagefly or GenPages plugins. It's additional applications inside Shopify to make your shop looks way nicer. Because one of the primary mistakes beginners are making, they're trying to make these general stores with a very, very basic Shopify design, cheap Shopify theme, nothing like expensive, and you can see that it's a typical dropshipping store, and then they're wondering why they're not selling. For me, I would rather just pick like one particular niche. I will get product for this niche. I will make a very quality store. Ideally with the GenPages. I prefer GenPages. They just looks way nicer on the laptop and on the phone. I'll make a quality website. If I'm in the position to afford myself to order the sample and hire a photographer, I would make a nice pictures and videos for this product, because once you have your own pictures, your own content, you can give this content to the Facebook ads. You can put all this stuff on your website. You can protect all these things with the watermarks to make sure no one will steal from you. But once you have your own content, you look much more trustworthy. You look like a proper brand. And once you're looking as a proper brand, you can charge more your customers easily. Because most of the time, I've been given the best example of my first product which made me money. I was buying this product for $2.4. All the expenses from the China, 2.4, and the shipping cost to USA was around $9. So total expense was like $11 plus minus. I was selling for $49.95 plus $5 shipping. When you can get exactly the same product from Amazon here in Dubai for $11. 11 versus 50 plus 5 for the shipping. And these people were buying from me because I ordered one sample to home. We made pictures, we made videos. I went together with my girlfriend in the gym. We made all these videos. I edited all this stuff in iMovie. And then these videos basically was my first video ads for the Facebook. And all this content was on my website. And I looked completely different from other people because it was a real person with a real product, completely brand new content. And that's what I suggest people to do as well. If you're in the position to order the sample, to make pictures and videos at home yourself, or hire maybe a studio and a proper photographer, it will put you ahead of the competition. So that's going to be the next step. You're building the shop, you're building all your content, and then you're going to launch the ads. Most of the time, I suggest people to go for the Facebook ads. Facebook ads are more consistent, they're more stable, and they will allow you to run your ads. You can just make 1, 2 videos, and you can operate these videos for like 3, 4, 5 months with no any changes. Just change the interest, change the lookalike audiences, and keep scaling, and you're good to go. It will never work with the TikTok. It will never work in the TikTok. TikTok is very picky. First of all, you need to launch minimum 5, 6 videos at the first week, and most likely by the week 2 or 3, you need to change these videos because they're already exhausted. They don't give you ROAS anymore. So if TikTok is more picky, is less consistent, but TikTok gives you slightly better ROAS in my experience. But still, as a beginner, I would say go for the Facebook ads. Just do some testing phase, test a few different interests. Always operate locations such as USA, top 6 basically, USA, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, Ireland, and what else I missed?
Germany.
UK, I think UK. Basically top 6 countries, plus you can add a bit of Europe as well. You can add Germany, France, Paris, all these e-packet countries if you want to, because this is the best option to sell to these countries. They have the highest purchase power. Yes, it's going to be a bit expensive. CPA will be a bit higher, but they won't be as high as, let's say, when you're targeting USA only. Because whenever you're targeting only USA market, your CPM is to the roof. It's so expensive. I don't like to operate only USA market. For me, I would rather go for the top 6. Maybe I will even add a bit of Germany and France, Paris, and all this stuff from Europe as well. But when we're talking about selling to European markets, it's a bit tricky because not everyone there speak perfect English. And if you want to build a proper brand, I would rather go for the Germany with the German ads. I would use additional applications on my website to translate my language. Whenever you're, let's say, log in from the German IP, it's going to be shown on the German language. Whenever you log in from the France IP, it's going to be on the French. This is more advanced levels. This is things I don't suggest beginners to focus on because it's a time consuming. You need to launch ads on the different languages. Just focus on the top 6 countries, as I told you before. Target them, try different interests. Usually for me, what works well, I like to operate the broad interests. As broad the interest, as better. For me, with the fitness, my favorite interest is health and wealth and fitness exercise. These two fitness always...
I will give you one advice. Try broad without any interest.
For me, this is one of my secrets actually when I'm launching the ads. Whenever I have always like 500 to 1,000 sales on the Facebook, what I'm doing, zero interest, no any interest, very high budget, and just let it go.
Yeah.
This is the very nice option as well. At the beginning, it's not always working at the beginning because you don't have much data, so it's not always working. You can end up in not being profitable even with a good product. But once you have a lot of sales and you're going for the cold interests, when there is no any interests, it can shoot to the roof because basically you're giving all the power to the Facebook. CPMs are super low because there is no any criteria. You can keep open gender, automatic placements. You're keeping basically everything open. You can just slightly maybe narrow down the age or gender if necessary for the particular products, if it's something for male or female. Yes, that's one of the options, but most of the time I'm using the cold interest without any interest at the final stage of the scaling, when I already have like more sales. And that's basically it. You're doing the testing phase, you test different interests, then later on you're slowly scaling it. Like you can increase maybe
But the question from my side, social media, you launch social media only when there is proper sales coming in, or you do that before?
First of all, obviously it is mandatory to build for your Facebook page. You cannot run any ads without Facebook page. Obviously, always it's better to add the Instagram page too. Just when the customer see the ad in the Instagram, he can click on the Instagram without being transferred to the Facebook. All these things you're building. For me, generally at the very beginning, the very first days, I will just add approximately like 9 posts on my Instagram just to fill it up, to fill up the page. It is necessary to begin to buy some fake followers just to keep it like real, look real. Because when there is a shop with 0 followers, 9 pictures, it looks a bit weird, So you got to get some likes and followers on it. You're gonna make a proper Facebook page again, like around 7 to 9 posts, and then you start putting the ads. I won't be spending much time on content creation at the very beginning. I won't be producing more stuff until I validate the sales. Because I don't want to be spending time on daily posting until I'm not sure that the product is working, I would wait for like 10 to 14 days to validate the sales volume. If by this time I'm at least break even or already making small profits, after this, yes, I will start dedicating more time into content creation, but not earlier than that.
Okay, so it's simple. Just understand, do you have 3 to 4 hours a day? That's important because you need to put hours in. That's my problem. I want to do that, but I don't have those hours. So I'm trying to find them. I want to do that because that's like, I should do that, but on the moment, I don't have them. Next one is how much money you have. The one is that you saw that you have some money to start, but second one is to decide if this will start to fly. You have the place where to get money so you can keep growing. Next one is find some fresh products through the Minea. I'm trying that app. It's an amazing app. Just go there. Spend some time not on the TikTok, but on the Minea. I think it will create you some money in the future. Build the shop, order first product, make some content around this product, and Facebook ads. Launch the ads. Launch basic Instagram and Facebook with a 7 to 9 posts, and just wait. Can you get money back from this first? I would say
first orders.
First 1 to 3 weeks. Just see the numbers, And that's great. Okay, so that's as simple as then lose all your money, fail, fail. So we have one question coming in. When you are in the process of testing a product, what would be your average initial investment in ads? That's a good question. How much I need to spend on ads?
Generally speaking, the bare minimum I prefer to operate with is to keep at least $10 per ad set. And what I would be doing, I would launch, the bare minimum is 4 ad sets. It's a bare minimum. Ideally, I would go for like 6, so basically your minimum ad spend is supposed to be around like $40 to $60 per product. And if your Facebook account is new, do not test more than 2 products at the same time at the very beginning. Facebook doesn't like that kind of things. If you launch 3, 4 products at the same time and you never did ads before, your account will go down very fast. That's from my personal experience. Unless you bought a properly old account or you got an agency account, do not test many products at the same time. Start slowly, start from 1, 2, and in terms of budget, it's going to be around like $40 to $60 per day, per product. This is, I would say, bare minimum in 2023.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with Stanis. So from our side, 30 euros or 40 US dollars it's the minimum. You can't see results, because the more you spend on ads, the faster you see the results. So the question, spend better more and see results in 3 days, not spend less and wait for 2 weeks and hope on some dream that it will happen. So that's perfect. So you have made this clear. Maybe there's something, if anyone who is listening this one wants to start the e-commerce brand and wants to have some help from your side, from the mentorship, what the steps, how he can find you, and tell more how to find yourself, and I think we have made all the picture how it should be done. There's one more thing I want to add after this one. This is the case study. So I just want from you to get out one great this idea when people are, you thought about a guy who is doing something in investment, and he understood that he don't want to be all the time day trader, and they want to find something where, maybe you can tell that story in the end. So, yes. And then we can cut this off.
Definitely. We can do this one, because eventually, recently, once my social media started exploding, back from end of November, basically, yes, I started gaining serious amount of followers. I started getting more people with a serious income, because most of the time before, most of my students were just normal people who's doing normal jobs, and they just want to change their lives, Recently, I started getting more and more guys who has existing businesses. It's either traditional businesses or trading. Most of the time, it's crypto trading, something which requires you being present almost 24/7. You're only in the charts or you're only working. Yeah, I do work now with 2 big people. I can make it a 1 case study about them to show how it works, because eventually people have to understand that e-commerce is not only just for a normal guy who can just get started and replace his job. You can also operate e-commerce as second or third business for yourself, because it is a great opportunity for you, because most of the work can be automated. Within like 4 or 5 months, you can easily automate everything. You can build the right business processes, and it's going to be just basically for you second, third, fourth stream of income, and you can expect like 10, 15, 20K in net profit every single month in a quite short period of time. Like, it's impossible to compare in terms of efficiency of launching e-commerce and seeing the results. I would say the only things which can generate for you income faster is trading. I think this is the only thing which is really fast, because in trading you can just literally make the same money like in 3-4 days. But e-commerce is, I would say, more consistent and require less time on the long run. So yeah, definitely we can make a proper case study about this. I believe people will be interested to see how it goes, because e-commerce, as I told you before, e-commerce is not only for people who just want to change their life, to change their jobs. E-commerce is for everyone who is looking for extra streams of income. It's not a side hustle which will make you $2,000-3,000. You should treat it as a serious business. Whenever you treat e-commerce as a serious business, whenever you invest enough time, enough budget, your money, you will see great results. Because e-commerce, you can build a proper brand. There is many examples where there's like 24-year-old guys who is super young, and they're pocketing like every single month like $80,000 to $100,000 in net profit. And this is basically the shops which they built as a dropshipping store, and then eventually they convert it to the proper brand. There is many options like this. You can see many guys on the YouTube as well who is like 10 years younger than me, and they're doing same numbers, and I'm just going crazy like how it's possible. Back in the days, I've been just normal guy in the university, like spending these $2,000 from my grandmother, and nothing worked, and now they're just basically way younger than me and pocketing insane money. So definitely yes. Let's make case study with one of them, will be very nice. We can also make study with you when we're going to be building your brand, if you're going to be comfortable with sharing what you're selling. Because
I will be really comfortable.
Yes, because most of the people, especially when we talk about drop shipping, it is important to keep your products away from the audience, because when people knows who you are, when people knows who you work with, and if they know your abilities and you expose them your shop, nothing will stop them from basically copying everything you have and start selling the same. Nothing will start. For me, if you will show me the website of the competitor and tell me how much he is making, I can take from him everything away in 1 week. Quickly sample from the China with DHL, video shoots, photographers, everything will be unique. As long as I know who the owner, how much he's making, I can steal everything away. In 7 days, we're going to be able to operate. That's why also one of the advice for the beginners, whenever you're just getting started, don't tell everyone that, I opened the shop, I'm the business owner, here, look, check it out. Because eventually at one point, once you start hitting the roof, jumping to the moon, people will start stealing your idea, because they know that they know what it is, what you own, and they'll be taking from you these things away. You will not even know this stuff, because in e-commerce, it is very easy to copy your website, to copy everything, like to steal entire business model and to replicate it very fast. In 7 days, you can basically steal from people everything. That's why it is important to keep your shop, to keep all these things private. You can brag to people with your screenshots from Shopify saying how much you did, but do not show your website to anyone unless it's your family, unless it's someone who really wishes you all the best, who will not steal from you. That's also one of the advice I believe will be very useful for beginners.
Yeah, that's 100%, because there in 2017 there was guys who was running the same product with the same ads, with everything the same, and everything was steal from us. So that's till this 50, 100,000, don't share those stuff. Then start to share, because you will have a proper brand and everything will be scaled. Thank you one more time, Stanis, about sharing this one. I really hope that you will have amazing, and you will have more amazing this mentorship road, because I think this is our duty to share this road through all these troubles, so we can help other guys to not jump not get those stepstones, but they can use them, and they use a different experience. So yeah, I hope somehow someone from the guys who will listen to this one will come to you and will ask for the help, and you can do that. And I hope that we will soon launch my e-commerce brand, because I know that I have the best team under there. And when we will have the proper product, when we will understand this is one we need to launch, all ads, Shopify, everything will be built in the world-class level, and I'm sure that we can outbeat anyone in the market.
Definitely, success will be inevitable. I can guarantee you this.
Okay, let's do that. Thank you to Stanis. It's a pleasure to split the stage with you, and hope we will get more lives.
Definitely. Take care.